Hello friends, welcome back to Civil Engineering Mastery. Today in this video, let's see how do we apply loads on G+3 building in ETAP software. In the previous video, we had completed our model. I'll give you the link in the description box. If any of you want to know how to model in ETAP software, you can check that one. Now let's go and check the model before defining the load cases. Go to analyze and click this check model. This window will appear. So here you need to check all the boxes here. Let's check this as well and then give OK. Now ETAB is checking our model. See, this portion is highlighted, that beam. Maybe we get the error in that same beam. Sorry, it is a warning message. Terrace B22 and L12 are overlapping each other. So if any error or warning is there in your model, that will appear here, so you can rectify that. So now let's check this beam and this beam. So some overlapping is there here, so this we need to rectify. So let me delete this one, then go to line, and here property you can select none. This I have explained in the previous video itself, because this is the cantilever portion, so there is no need of giving the beam property. So just it acts as a line, that's it. So click that joint, save, and then again let's go to analyze and check model. Click this one and then give OK. Let's see now how we are getting the warning messages. So see, now we don't have any warning message. Model has been checked, no warning messages were generated. Now our model is ready. Go to define. So here you have to select load patterns. In this window you have to keep adding the load cases. First one is dead load. So the self weight multiplier is 1, which is self weight of the structure. So that is why self weight multiplier is 1. Next, let's add the main wall load. So for this you have to select the type as super dead, and then you have to keep the self weight multiplier as 0. Give add new load, and then next one is partition wall load. So this one also keep it as super dead and self weight multiplier is 0. Add new load, and then next floor finish load. So this also will come under super dead, self weight multiplier is 0, and again add new load. Next parapet wall load, that also comes under super dead and self weight multiplier is 0. Add new load. So these are all the another dead loads which is coming on the structural members. So let me show you how do we calculate that, and before that let's add the live load as well. So just give live, and then here you have to select live, self weight multiplier is 0, give add new load. Okay, first let's see what is main wall load. Here I have all the loading details. First one is dead load. Under dead load, self weight of the slab is the first one. So here we don't need to calculate the self weight of the slab, because ETAB automatically calculate the self weight, but still you have to know how to calculate the self weight. So thickness of the slab, which is 5 inches, that is 0.125 multiplied by the unit weight of concrete, unit weight of RCC, that is 25 kilonewton per meter cube. So then we get 3.125. Main wall load, here you have to take the wall thickness and then wall height and then unit weight of the material, unit weight of the brick. So 0.225, that is 9 inch thick. Main wall is 9 inch thick. So thickness multiplied by height multiplied by the unit weight, we get 13.5 kilonewton per meter. Similarly, partition wall load is 4 inch thick, that is 0.1 multiplied by height 3 meter, and that 20 is the unit weight. So this is done. Next, floor finish load is 0.05 multiplied by 20 is the unit weight, and this 0.05 is 50 mm thickness. So according to what material you are using, you can choose the thickness. So here I have taken as 50 mm thick, so that is 0.05 meter multiplied by unit weight. So I am getting 1 kilonewton per meter square. This is another load which is coming on the structure, that is partition load. You might have seen that in any office building or even residential building, if it is updated for rent or something, so there will be some partition they will make in the structure. So that load we have to consider 1 kilonewton per meter square. This is mentioned in IS 875 part 2. So next one is parapet wall load. Parapet wall thickness is also 9 inch, that is 0.225 multiplied by 1 meter is the height of the parapet wall, and unit weight is 20 kilonewton per meter cube. So we get 4.5 kilonewton per meter square. Next, live load is 2 kilonewton per meter square. So these are all the dead load and live load which we are going to assign in ETAP software. Next, let's add the staircase load as well. That also comes under super dead load. Staircase, let's select super dead and self weight multiplier is 0, add new load. So all the dead load and live load we have defined. Next, let's define the earthquake load, EQX. This is comes under the type of seismic, and then here self weight multiplier is 0. Then auto lateral load we need to select, so we'll be having the codes here. So we are going to use IS 1893 2016, which is the latest code for seismic design of building. So this we need to select here and then add new node. Similarly, in the y direction also we need to add. So earthquake loads are defined. Here I am not going to add wind load since it is not located in the hilly areas and the building height is also less. So we are going to analyze and design the structure for dead load, live load and earthquake load. Next, let me show you how do we calculate the staircase load. Let me show you in AutoCAD drawing. So the staircase we are having in this way. So here is the starting point. So from here we need to climb up and then come like this way. So what we have to do is, here we will be having the mid landing beam at this point and then roof beam at this point. So we'll start from here and one flight will rest on this mid landing beam, and again this flight will start from this mid landing beam and go to the roof level beam. So if you see in this framing plan, so this is the roof level beam, and at mid landing level we will be having one beam by connecting these columns. For staircase, this roof beam and the mid landing beam will be the support. Let me show you in ETAP so that you can understand clearly. See here, this is the mid landing beam, and again here we will be having roof level beam. So if we come like this way, and this is the one support, and again if we go this way, this will be a support. Let me show you by extruding frames and shells. Give apply. Okay, see now you can see this is the mid landing beam, and again here we are having roof level beam. So these two are the support for the staircase. So let's see how do we calculate the load. First we need to calculate the loads on going. Base slab thickness is 150 mm, riser is 150 mm, and thread is 250 mm. Square root of r square plus t square we need to calculate, and then self weight of base slab is unit weight of RCC multiplied by thickness of base slab multiplied by 292, that is square root of r square plus t square divided by 250. This is thread dimension, so that we get 4.38 kilonewton per square meter. And self weight of steps we need to calculate. 25 multiplied by thickness is riser thickness, and then half of riser thickness multiplied by unit weight. So we get the self weight of steps. Floor finish 1 kilonewton per meter square. As I told you here, 0.05 multiplied by 20, we get 1 kilonewton per meter square, and live load is 3 kilonewton per meter square. So by adding all these values, we get total load on going. Next, let's see loads on landing. Self weight of landing slab is 25 multiplied by 0.15. We get 3.75, floor finish 1 and live load 3. So total load on landing is 7.75. So how this will come, like you can imagine, like this is one support and this is one support. So we have one support here, this is one beam support and this is one beam support. So loads on going is 10.26 kilonewton per meter total load. So here it is in meter squared. You may have a doubt why here it is in kilonewton per meter. So always we calculate the loads per meter. So this will come as kilonewton per meter squared per meter. So then it becomes kilonewton per meter. Next, loads on landing is 7.75. So we need to solve this. If we solve this one, we get reactions, like if you consider this one as A and B, if we get the reactions at this point and then this point, so that reactions we can apply on the beam. So by solving this, we get RA is 16.02 kilonewton and RB is 14.4 kilonewton. Took this one as RA and this one as RB. So roof beam we need to apply 16.02 and mid landing beam we need to apply 14.4. So this support is our roof beam and this support is our mid landing beam. So let's assign the load. First let's assign main wall load 13.5 kilonewton per meter, partition wall load 6 kilonewton per meter. Go to ETAB. So before assigning the loads, let's assign the support conditions. So here we need to select the base. Go to base view. Here you can see base. Select all the columns and then go to assign, joint, restraint. Here you have to select the fixed support, apply. Okay, so now supports are assigned. Next let's go to the plinth level, plinth view. So you have to be very careful and here you should select only one story. So we are going to apply the wall load on plinth beams. Go to assign, frame loads, distributed. So here you have to select the main wall. So let's see where and all main wall is there in architectural drawing. See, all the outer walls are 9-inch thick wall. So you have to apply the wall load. So for that we need to select all the beams. First you have to select all the outer beams. So now you have to enter the value here, which is 13.5. So direction of load application should be gravity. Give apply. Okay. If you want to see in the 3D view, you can go to display, load assign, frame and select main wall, apply. Okay. So you can see the load here. Next let's look into the partition wall. We have one partition wall here and here we have a partition wall. So let's go to ETABS and this full wall we need to apply the partition wall load. Go to assign, frame load, distributed and here select partition wall load. Select these beams and then apply 6 kilonewton per meter. See, now all the loads are applied on the plinth beam. Next let's go to ground floor. So we have to be careful, we have to keep applying load on the proper floor. So here we have to select similar story. These two stories are similar to ground floor, but only the difference is loading is different because ground floor and first floor will be having the same load, but this terrace floor there will not be any wall load. Main wall load will not come on this terrace floor. So now we can go to edit stories and grid system. So here modify story data. So here we can select this one, second floor we can keep similar story as none and then give OK. So now similar story means only ground floor and first floor will be similar to each other and this will not be similar to ground floor. Now we can select here similar stories because we don't need to apply load again and again. If we select similar stories here, we apply load on the ground floor, that will automatically replicate it to the first floor as well. So now let's go on adding the load. First go to assign, frame load and distributor. We need to apply the main wall. So we know all the outer walls are 9-inch thick. So we have to select all the outer walls and then apply the main wall load. 13.5 kilonewton per meter. Here you can enter 13.5 kilonewton per meter. Apply. The main wall load is applied and we need to apply the partition load. As I told you, one partition load is coming on this beam and here also. See the architectural drawing, here partition wall is coming and again here partition wall is coming. We see in the first floor plan we have the same thing, like here partition wall is there and here partition wall is there. Go to assign, frame loads, distributed and here you can select partition wall and here enter 6 kilonewton per meter, give apply and next we need to apply the staircase load as well. First let's select only mid landing beams. This is also on mid landing beam. So go to assign, frame load, distributed. So here let's select staircase and then on the mid landing beam it is 14.4 kilonewton per meter. Apply OK and then select this roof beam. Go to assign, frame load, distributed, staircase and here you have to enter 16.02. Give apply OK. Now staircase load is completed. Next let's go to second floor. So here in second floor only parapet wall load will come, and then this staircase headroom wall load, gym room wall load will come. First let's apply the parapet wall load. So in this area we are having the gym room, so that load will come, wall load will come. So only parapet wall load we are selecting the outer portion by leaving this area, and here we can select, go to assign frame loads distributor, select parapet wall. We have the parapet wall load as 4.5 kilonewton per meter. So let's assign the 4.5, apply. So parapet wall load is assigned now. Next let's assign the main wall load on these beams. So here we'll be having the main wall load, go to assign frame loads distributed, and here we will be having main wall 13.5 kilonewton per meter, give apply. Next let's assign floor finish load and live load. We have completed all the loads. First we need to go to the ground floor. So we are in second floor now. Go to ground floor. Here select similar story, so that if you assign the load in the ground floor, that will replicate it in the first floor as well. So select this slab. We have selected all the slabs. You can see here ground floor and first floor slabs have been selected. Go to assign shell loads uniform, and then here under dead load, not dead load, floor finish, we are going to enter 1. Okay, so again we can select all the slabs by clicking this previous selection, and then go to assign shell load uniform, and here you can select live load and give to, you can give here add to existing loads. So apply, okay. Next let's go to second floor. Second floor also we can select all the slabs, and then go to assign shell loads uniform, live load, apply. Next again select all the slabs, go to assign shell load uniform, and then floor finish, give 1, and here you have to give add to existing loads. If you select add to existing load, it will add to the existing loads. If give apply, and then okay. So now all the loads have been assigned for all the 3 floors. Next let's go to the terrace. So in this one let's assign one floor finish load, go to assign shell load uniform, floor finish, apply, okay. So on this terrace floor let's assign the live load as 1.5, go to frame load, shell load uniform, click live load, and here you give 1.5, add to existing load, apply, okay. So that's all, we have assigned all the loads. Next we have to go to define, and then load pattern. We have assigned all other loads, only this dead load is pending, that also let's assign. Here give all stories. Now let's select all, and then go to assign. Here you have to enter the joint load, give force, and here let's keep it as dead, and here let's keep it as 1, self weight multiplier light. So let's keep it as 1, and then apply, okay. So the self weight is assigned everywhere. Next let's go to define, and then load pattern. So let's assign the earthquake load. So here what we have to do is we have to modify lateral load. So you get this window. X means only you have to check the X direction, rest all you should uncheck, and then here you have to enter the values. Response reduction factor, table 9 response reduction factor R for building systems. From here you have to choose the value. So moment frame system, RC building with ordinary moment resisting frame, OMRF. RC building with special moment resisting frame, the value is 5 for special moment resisting frame, and ordinary moment resisting frame it is 3. There is one note here, RC and steel structures in seismic zones 3, 4 and 5 shall be designed to be ductile, hence this system is not allowed in these seismic zones. That means this first one, ordinary moment resisting frame, is not allowed in seismic zone 3, 4 and 5. In Annexure E, we have list of towns with population more than 3 lakhs and their seismic zone factors. So our building is located in Mysore, which is zone 2. Okay, since it is in zone 2, we can take the response reduction factor value as 3, which is RC buildings with ordinary moment resisting free. So here you have to enter 3. Next one is zone factor. Seismic zone factor is given in table 3. So we can enter the value here as 0.1. Next, soil type. So in class number 6.4.2.1, soil type is given. So our soil type is 2, which is medium soil. So let's enter 2 here. And then importance factor. Importance factor is given in table 8. So our building will not come under this condition. So next one is residential or commercial building other than those listed in serial number 1 with occupancy more than 200%. For all other buildings, importance factor as 1. Time period, let's keep it as program calculated and then give OK. And again, the same we have to do in the earthquake load in y direction as well. Go to modify lateral load. So for this we have to select only in y direction, and then response reduction factor is 3, zone factor is 0.1, soil type is 2, importance factor is 1, and time period is program calculated. Give OK. So now all the earthquake loads also modified. Next, let's define the diaphragms. To define the diaphragm, here add new diaphragm D2, OK, and again D3, OK, and again D4, OK. One is for ground floor D1, D2, D3, and for terrace it is D4. Give OK. We have defined the diaphragm as well. Next, let's assign the diaphragms. We are in ground floor now. It is only one story. You have to keep it as only one story. Select all the slab. Go to assign. Select shell. Here diaphragm D1. Apply OK. Next, go to first floor. Select all. Go to assign shell diaphragm D2. Apply OK. Next, go to second floor. Select. Go to assign shell diaphragm D3. Apply OK. Similarly, go to terrace. Select all, assign shell diaphragm D4, apply OK. So now we have assigned all the diaphragms. In the next video, let's see how to assign the load combinations, analysis results and design results. So friends, I hope this video was very helpful to you. Please do comment in the comment box. Your comments are always welcome. Don't forget to subscribe the channel for more videos. Thank you for watching.